With the Helldivers 2 PSN drama blowing up, I've seen many people talking about how Sony is the big, bad boogeyman forcing the poor, nice Swedish developers over at Arrowhead to make the Helldivers sign up for PSN accounts to boost their numbers and impress investors, given that the financial fiscal year is ending right when this news is all being announced. But what if I told you that Arrowhead also wants you to sign up for PSN? They have just as much to do with this decision as Sony does. Now, before I explain this situation, I want you all to know I am not buying the next warbond, and you should join in and not spend any more money on this game until this situation is resolved and until we figure out if Arrowhead is going to allow people from outside of PSN countries to play this game. You guys can review bomb them on Steam all you want, but unless you vote with your wallets, then the big wigs and corporate investors at both Arrowhead and Sony will not listen to you. Now, to explain this situation, some of you may have seen this screenshot from an Arrowhead community and support employee responding to someone on Twitter telling them that this decision was made to allow them to ban people, and that this is the sole reason they are doing this. And the guy responds to her saying, "You couldn't ban anyone before? That's a lie." And she says, "Well, yeah, we could, but this increases the effectiveness of what we can do, and that there are certain legal requirements, and that getting support system of PSN would essentially help them deal with the massive amount of support tickets that they have already." So basically what she's saying is that they want to offload a lot of the workload with support tickets and use PlayStation's established support system. So for example, let's say you're playing Helldivers right now, you come across a bug in the game, or there's a cheater in your lobby, or someone is harassing you, and you want to send in a support ticket to get help with any of those problems. Right now, you would go to Arrowhead's website and send in that ticket. No problems, right? Except, let's go ahead and pull up another game, like Borderlands, for example. If I had a problem with any of those things I just mentioned, but in Borderlands, and I went to go send in a support ticket for Borderlands 3, it's gonna take me to 2K Games' website, which is the publisher for Borderlands, rather than the developer's website. The relationship between the game developers and their publishers is a very intricate one with benefits to both parties. Publishers generally provide many benefits beyond just funding to the game developers. And in most cases, they have large established teams that already deal with some of these issues like support tickets and many other things. And on the other hand, game developers like Arrowhead create good games which help get people to sign up for PSN in the first place. And originally, if you were to pre-order Helldivers, or if you were purchasing Helldivers on Steam very early on, a lot of people who did that already had their PSN linked to their accounts now because it actually was a requirement at launch. It was originally set up this way between Sony and between Arrowhead, with their agreement between each other that Sony would take care of the support system and Arrowhead would get people to sign up for PSN, and I'm sure there's many other things that is in this agreement between them. So what ended up happening was, with the massive amount of players who flocked to Helldivers, you know, they were literally suffering from their success at one point. The servers were crashing. Connecting your PSN account to Helldivers also had some technical issues and they had to shut it down. So why is this just coming up now, 3 months later, instead of a month ago or 2 months ago? Well, like I said at the start of the video, the fiscal year is ending up soon. That's probably why it's coming up now. Sony is probably like, "Hey, Arrowhead, remember you guys were supposed to get us some PSN account signups so that we can go impress our investors?" And that probably most likely is the reason it's coming up now, even though that's pure speculation and pure rumor from the entire community. That seems like the most likely reason that it's happening right now. But I think it's really worth pointing out that it's not like Arrowhead themselves don't have a major benefit. If they can offload all of the support ticket workload to Sony, then they wouldn't have to hire their own extensive customer support team. On top of that, Sony owns the Helldivers IP. It's not like that this agreement doesn't benefit Arrowhead either. Arrowhead most certainly wants this to go through. Even when the CEO of Arrowhead responded to this, it was a very well-written response. Everyone seemed to like it. He got like 30K likes on Twitter. But to me, this is his way of saying, hey, we're not going back on this decision. I guess this is well-received criticism. I understand why you guys are changing your reviews. But we're gonna have to make this up to you by putting out good content. Nowhere in his statement does it make it seem like they're gonna go back on this decision. Now also, before anyone else in the comments tries to say that this is all Sony's fault and that Arrowhead doesn't want this to happen, I'm gonna go ahead and throw up the FAQ, aka the FAQ, from the official Helldivers Discord, where the #1 reason stated that this is happening is for this exact reason that I'm laying out. So when we lay out these reasons for why this is happening, honestly, I don't really have any problems with the reasoning of having players make a PSN account to play their game. Again, Sony owns the Helldivers IP. If they can help offload work from Arrowhead, and Arrowhead gets their benefit from their publisher, I don't have a problem with that. Many other games need you to sign up for accounts to the publisher. This game wasn't the first to have this system, and it damn sure won't be the last. But what I do have a problem with is the list of countries who were for some reason able to purchase this game, even though this list of countries can't get PSN accounts. And the countless viewers who watch my streams when I play the game or are in my Discord, who I've played with multiple times when we do viewer games, they now told me they're not going to be able to play the game anymore a month from now. And I also gotta say, this just seems like a very shady practice at the very least. Allowing countries who aren't able to sign up for PSN buy your game, even though you knew from the start that this was going to be a requirement. How come nothing was done at the launch of this game to make it so that people from countries that can't sign up for PSN weren't able to purchase the game? It should have said not available in your country. And I also have a major problem with informed consent. I didn't pre-order this game. I didn't purchase this game on launch. I bought it a few days afterwards when apparently the system for linking accounts went down. Nowhere in the EULA for this game did it state I had to sign up for a PSN account. And for months now, I've been able to play without linking a PSN account. Now, personally, I'm just gonna say I probably would have linked a PSN anyway. I don't actually personally really care about that. And like I said, I've done this for other games in the past, so this isn't a problem for me. But that's for me personally. There are many people out there that simply would not have purchased or played the game, or they would have filed for a refund within the refund parameters on Steam very early on because they don't trust Sony with their personal information. And whether or not you say it's dumb, they should just sign up for a PSN, whether you think their reason is stupid or not, or whether you agree with them or not, people who don't want PSN and people who wouldn't have purchased this game have every right to make a purchase or not make a purchase for their own reasons. And they also have the right to be fully informed about a purchase, whether that's by putting it in the EULA, some sort of purchasing agreement, or being prompted with a screen before playing. And the fact that it was not in the EULA, on top of the fact it wasn't required to play the game for months now, most people were led to believe that it was optional. And what this means is anyone who did not consent to this rule change and originally wouldn't have bought the game probably also won't be eligible to get a refund, although we'll see if Steam allows those players to get refunds or not. Now again, like I said personally, I would have signed up for a PSN before launch since I've played lots of online games where this has been the case, but until they figure out a situation for my friends in countries where PSN isn't available, I'm not spending $1 on the next warbond. And during this part of the video, there's some leaked gameplay of the new warbond in the background. The new warbond looks extremely mid anyway. The first assault rifle looks like a clone of the Liberator. The concussive SMG looks okay for ballistic shield builds, but otherwise it's just going to be a clone of the Defender, and honestly probably a worse one because we all know how the concussive Liberator is compared to the regular one. And the Deagle is literally probably going to be a worse Senator. There's also no new armor passives, and there's just another fire grenade. I highly recommend, if you care about this situation at all, if you care about the fact that we want no divers left behind, then boycott the Polar Patriots warbond, as that content drop is happening soon. And if we actually pull together, like we do in the Galactic Wars, to fight this new enemy type, corporate greed, on both Arrowhead and Sony's part, then nothing will change. Now, another thing I want to comment on is I don't think this is going to kill the game at all. I'm going to be playing until some more news develops or until the next big game comes out. But like I said, I'm not spending $1 on the new warbond. Obviously, all this stuff just happened, and now it's like the ball's in Arrowhead and Sony's court to either give a real response on this situation or go ahead and make it available for those people in countries who can't get PSN to still play the game. But to me, it seems like they're not going to backtrack on this, at least right now. Both Arrowhead and Sony had reasons for this PSN thing in their original agreement with each other. For Arrowhead, they're getting the publisher to help out with support tickets, and for Sony, they're getting people to sign up for PSN. I don't think they're gonna backtrack on this. Personally, I'm gonna wait and see if they somehow allow my friends in other countries to play the game without PSN, and if I'll still be able to queue with them. So that's gonna be it for this video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more Helldivers 2 content, at least in the immediate future. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.